Well, welcome. It's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Hey, thank you for joining me today in this weekly group coaching session here. Today, it's kind of a special evening. We're not only just talking to the people, our regular group staff or session class members here on Zoom, but we're also piping this in over across YouTube as well. So if you're kind of curious on what group coaching is all about, and you just wanted to kind of take a peek in, well, tonight's your night. And I thank you for being here. Hey, my name's Greg Nelson. I'm a certified coach at thehardknockstate.com. That's the website. And we are a registered counseling company here in Washington State. I've been in business for over 35 years and in sales, direct sales for 20 of those years. And I got to tell you, I was always kind of stumbling my way through. And I had had some pretty good successes while owning some other businesses, but never really truly great successes that would really make a lifestyle change for not only myself, but my family as well. It was about 7 years ago, I remember I was laying in a hospital bed in a treatment facility. And hey, over the past 35 years, I've always listened to audio recordings and read good positive self-help books and watched the videos and whatnot, but it never really seemed to click. It helped, and I believe I got a lot further just by reading and watching and listening to all that the positive self-help gurus out there. And I really started narrowing it down to really about three different people I really started following pretty closely. And when I had my accident and I was laying in this hospital bed, again, it was a treatment facility for alcohol abuse. But I remember I was laying there, and all of a sudden it clicked. And I said, "Hey, what are these people that I've been listening to for a long time now? What are they all saying in common?" And I kind of wrote it down and I put it into a process. And that 4-step process I've been using ever since. And I've had some pretty amazing results. And that's the basis of what the Hard Knock State is founded on. And that's what we teach and coach and practice on, along with other more advanced strategies. But hey, look, we start with the basics. We make sure you have a good understanding of the basics. Because if you don't have a good foundation, when you go to build that house, it's not going to go up quite right, and it's not going to stand the test of time. So tonight's topic is drilling down your dreams and your goals, or drilling down your goals and your dreams. And studies and a lot of books out there have said that we get something like 60,000 thoughts that come through our brain every day, or our mind every day. And I did a quick Google search a while back, and our conscious brain recognizes about 6,000 of those thoughts that come across our brain. And not all of them are good thoughts, right? They're not all great ideas. There's stuff that we should definitely think of something else as soon as possible. But with the good, the bad, the indifferent, all those thoughts that come through, there's usually typically one or two reoccurring thoughts that we have over and over again that lead us to something we want to achieve in our life. And whether it's a dream house, a dream vacation, making sure you have enough money set in your retirement account so you can retire comfortably. How about just having a little bit of extra money at the end of the month, instead of living paycheck to paycheck. And 76% of us in America do just that, live paycheck to paycheck. It may be hard for some people to wrap their head around the ideas of, going on a really long extended vacation on a luxury yacht, or flying in a private jet or a private helicopter, or even just taking those first class trips around the world. Hey, what if even $1 million? Some people just can't wrap their head around that. So what are those thoughts? What are the things that are coming through your head every day? And what do you do about it? Do we just sit there and do we just kind of ignore them? I think most of us do. We kind of ignore them and we just kind of try to get through the day as quickly as possible. But I really want to have you ask yourself, because step number one in this 4-step process is choosing the right goal and the right dream to either the goal to accomplish or the dream to chase. So, where are you at in life? Because that right there, we all start in a different place. Where we're at right now is going to be completely different than every single one of your peers. And the reason behind that is we're all unique. We're all like a snowflake, right? We're all individual. Okay, and all of us have a different walk in life and a different journey that we're going through. So, where are you at in life? Is it where you thought you would be right now? Or are you better off or worse off than where you thought you'd be, at this point in your life? Have you tried to get ahead or get more out of life only to have a setback? And so this is, a lot of us have taken risks in the past and we've tried to advance. We tried to move forward. We tried to open that business or chase that dream. And then all of a sudden it's worse off. We lost our money. It was a scam, or it just didn't work out. And we put in a lot of time. We put in a lot of effort. We put in a lot of resources, and it just didn't pan out. Do you dread getting up and having to go through the workday? That's a big one, because where you're at in life and your outlook from when the day starts sets the tone for the whole single day. And if day in and day out, you're just getting up, we're just getting up, and we're, having one of those go out there and deal with those knucklehead type days, and we're trying to dredge through the workday only to come home without any energy to plop down on the couch at 5:45 or 6:15 in the evening and start watching, reruns of old 80s and 90s and early 2000s TV shows. And so, is going through the day just more of a drudgery than anything? And what is it that you want? And a lot of times we don't even know what it is we want. But again, we have those thoughts that come through our day, our mind every single day. And choosing the right goal, the right dream is very important. Is it a new job? If you dread getting up in the morning to have to go to your work, your place of employment, your position, it could that idea be a new job or a raise or a promotion? What if you've been a renter your whole life and it's really your goal? You really think it would be nice to own your own home one day, but with the rising cost of real estate and the rising inflation in this economy, you think to yourself, how am I ever going to get there working at my current job, making the type of money I'm making? What if it's something as simple as taking a dream vacation? Maybe you want to go to Italy, go to Rome, go to Florence, maybe Portugal, go to Lisbon and go see Cascais, and then up to Fatima and go see the Catholic town of Fatima. It's pretty amazing. What if it's just a dream car? What if it's an exotic car? I remember back in my early 20s, I would always look at these exotic cars driving by, and oh man, I really wish I could have one of those, but I was never truly clear on what type of car I wanted. So therefore, was that really a goal that I wanted that car? Was it a dream I was chasing? Or was it just a passing thought and something that would be nice to have if the stars aligned one day? What about finding the right person? Hey, what if you're a single individual, or you're a divorced individual, and it's time to get back on the saddle and find that right person again? Are you just going to go aimlessly looking for a person who's going to communicate with you, or are you going to get really specific about that type of person that you want in your life even before you venture out into the dating world? Hey, being able to retire in comfort. I mean, we all want this. I think this is a driving force for all of us. But a lot of us can't see the end of retirement. We can't see or know how much money is actually it's gonna take for us to be able to retire in comfort. And then what happens if emergencies? Are we taking into account of emergencies? hey, if my parents are both still alive, thank God, and I'm very lucky and blessed to still have them around, but they are aging very rapidly, and there have been times more frequently than not over the past couple of years where I've had to just get up, bolt, and head on down to where they live in the Southwest, just to make sure that everything's okay. And so, what if you have a family emergency where you have a financial obligation to take care of your aging parents or grandparents or aunt or uncle who maybe didn't plan well enough ahead for their own life? Being able to have that kind of income set aside or that kind of money set aside, plus being able to retire yourself in comfort too. I mean, that right there is really a big one. So here's some more questions we just got to keep asking ourselves, because really with this here, with this and what you want to achieve, again, we're all individual, and what we all want to achieve is individual, right? But it's important to pick out the right thing, and don't pick out what you think you want out of life, that goal, that dream. Don't pick out because based off of what somebody else's success has allowed them to have in their life, their possessions that they've had, the money in their bank account, the investments they hold on to. That is a result of their dreams, their goals, and their hard work and the action that they've taken in order to achieve that. And so if you try to mimic exactly what they have, chances of that working out for you is pretty slim to none, I would say, because it's not authentic to you. It doesn't align with your own personal goals, your own personal ethics, and it's not unique to you. So it's not your own original goal or dream. Um, but what's stopping you from getting whatever that is? And you've thought about these things in the past. We've been sitting at our desk at the workday, and then we see maybe we're taking a break and we're scrolling through social media. We see an ad for Disney World, or we see an ad for another country, a tourism ad for another country. Well, what's stopping you? Is it a person? Is it a situation? Is it the economy? That's stopping you from going ahead and booking that trip, or walking into your boss's office and sitting down and asking him for or her for a promotion. Especially if you're a hard worker in your store, I gotta think that a lot of times, and we'll go into this as we get further into this class, but a lot of times there's reasons we aren't even aware that's stopping us from even going and doing that. And so therefore that idea, that goal we have, only remains an idea in our head. A lot of people blame the economy, they blame the government. Is it funding? Is it money that's stopping you from achieving what it is that you want to get out of life? What is the reason that you keep bringing up when you tell yourself it can't be done? I've written out some reasons here that you probably tell yourself this over and over again. But hey, when we're asking, we get that thought that comes across our head, and it's a big thought. It's something crazy, right? It's, hey, I'm gonna go find a way to. I'm gonna get into a commission-based job. I'm gonna get out of this per hour job, this salaried position I'm in right now, and I'm gonna venture out and I'm gonna try something new because I feel I'm worth a lot more than what I'm getting paid. So we venture out and we start thinking about the opportunity to make a lot more money in our life to be able to afford these nice things like a nice new car, a comfortable retirement with enough money to take care of family emergencies or that dream vacation. But then we tell ourselves these little negative little phrases that we've heard over and over again as we were growing up, like, hey, it seems like that's a lot of extra work and it just may not pan out. Or how about, and these could also be things that other people are currently telling you too, because maybe you're really hot on this idea and it's really starting to become a burning desire for something, and you're starting to share that with somebody else. And so you'll hear things, or you'll tell yourself things like, Your uncle tried something like that and almost lost everything. Or, hey, one day I'll do that. One day I'll go after that. One day it would be nice, right? Or, hey, how about this one? What I have right now is completely fine. Um, and these are the things that hold us back without even understanding where these little negative phrases came from, or these little sayings. And again, drilling down your goals and your dreams and being specific on exactly what you want to achieve is the most important thing when it comes to obtaining or accomplishing that goal or making that dream come true. Being very specific on what you want, and then figuring out a way to uh, get this silenced, right? All these negative little things we tell ourselves in order to get this silenced. So, again, here, what are the 4 steps? And as I had already said, this came to me over 7 years ago while laying in a bed in an alcohol and drug treatment facility hospital, coming to grips with reality that I was responsible for all of my actions and why I was where I was at in my life. Throughout my life and always being involved in business and sales, I've always been into personal development, self-help, and positive mindset books, audio recordings, seminars, and webinars. Although they helped a little, they didn't really click until this one night when I took a little bit of everything I've learned, as I was saying, for some of those gurus out there, those teachers out there, and I put them all together in this 4 little step system. And I started practicing these 4 steps immediately while I was actually in the treatment facility. And my outcome was to get out of that treatment facility as quickly as possible and get back on with my life. I needed to get back to work. I was an inpatient facility that I chose to go to, but it was almost 2 weeks of me being away from generating income. And even though I had my own problems to deal with, the bills at home still needed to be paid, and there was mouths that still needed to be fed. So I really had to quickly figure out a way to generate income, and a lot of income in excess of what I was used to making. Because when you're going through a situation like this, I got to tell you, you start thinking about all the repercussions that are going to happen when you get out of a treatment facility, and they are life changing. Uh, so make sure your dreams and your goals are authentic. The success others have will be different than your success. You're unique. There's only one of you, and it's your life too. And so don't second guess your goals and your dreams. You thought big at first, and then your brain told you to be realistic. These little phrases kept popping up every time you think about that, and then we push that idea back down. Make your dreams and goals so big that they scare you and make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, any less, and you're settling for less. Look, the reality is if the thought came into your mind, there's a way to achieve it. There's a way to get it done. Uh, and this right here is probably one of the biggest takeaways if you're taking notes right now on drilling down goals and dreams, is that if the thought came through your mind and you recognized it and you thought, boy, one day, or these little things came up, and instead of squashing it back down, there is actually a way for you to go out and achieve that. Whether it's with help from others, by yourself, with help from your family, uh, uh, by educating yourself a little bit more on the topic, maybe talking to a specialist or a professional in that field, or whatever it is, there's a way to get it done. Everything we have today, and if you follow personal development and positive mindset programs and books out there, then you know that everything that we have today is a result of a thought, an idea that somebody had. So we need to ask ourselves, why not me? Why not us? And why not now? right? The only difference between you and the highly successful is the size of their bank accounts and the way they think. And you need to ask yourself, if others can do it, experience it, or have it, why can't you have it? With today's technology and ease of access to information, it's never been easier to make your idea uh, come to reality. It's never been easier. But the reality is that we've been programmed, and and if you don't think that you've been programmed, you're absolutely wrong. We've all been programmed. Our brain has been programmed. Most of our beliefs, our personal core values aren't really our own. They've been passed down throughout the generations of our family line and our family tree. They've been passed down by those we love and trust: parents, grandparents, extended family, trusted advisors like priests and pastors, doctors, and those who taught our parents, or those who taught us, our teachers, when we were going through school. Uh, the foundation of these beliefs and core values were formed firmly into our minds by the age of 8 years old. And so blame it on the amygdala. And so this is where we're talking about when things, we're going after that goal, that dream, and it's just really not working out for us. Okay. The amygdala is an almond shaped cluster of nuclei that lays in our brain near our hippocampus. Now, our hippocampus is our brain's central memory bank. Okay. And this little almond shaped cluster of nuclei here, right? This works with our central nervous system, okay, in our fight or flight method, okay, and it's designed to keep us out of emotional and physical harm, but it relies on the memory, the central memory bank in the hippocampus, okay, and it works with our nervous system's fight or flight response system. Again, it's designed to keep us out of physical and emotional harm, but it can make our bodies and our make us act in irrational ways. It can make us freeze up in a moment to where we're almost paralyzed. We can't think, we can't talk, we're just standing there, right? We can also get very aggressive if we're put into a situation that goes against those core beliefs and those family values that were passed down and formed into us at about 8 years old of how one should act toward another. Yeah, personal questions. Like, hey, what side of the political line, who are you voting for this year? Some people get very offended to that question because it was told to them by their parents, who their parents told them, hey, it's not polite to talk about politics. It's not polite to ask people who they're voting for. That's private information, right? The other thing it could do, and then so when we hear that, we might get a little aggressive because we don't know how to act. We were told, hey, that's wrong to talk about that. And somebody just brings it up and it sparks something in our memory. And our hippocampus is like, whoa, I remember getting in trouble when I was, 6 years old for talking to when the election was on, and I was going around asking everybody who they were voting for, right? I remember my dad got really upset, so now you're going to get upset. You see how that pattern happens? Or this whole system can make us run away. There's many places in the brain that store information. Our prefrontal cortex stores memory. Our hippocampus is the major central memory bank. But really, when we're trying to, this is where the flood of those little negative sayings. Hey, money doesn't grow on trees. Gosh, you got to save every single penny. The only way you're going to make it is with a higher education. Hey, look, that's how the other half lives, right? You have to get an education to get the good paying jobs, right? People who are really successful stepped on somebody or stole from somebody, hardworking in order to get there. And that right there can go two ways. One, that could keep you from keep you in a poverty state, that kind of mindset or what you've been told about this right here, successful people. How about God doesn't want us to be successful? Money is the root of all evil. I didn't write that one down, but that is a big one that's always taken out of context when it's really the love of money is the root of all evil, right? But we're not in this for the love of money. We're hopefully your goal and your dream is more than just having dollars in a bank account. It's to have those dollars in a bank account so you can go off and do the things and chase down those dreams and achieve those goals that is going to require the money in order to get there. Uh, how about this one? To make it be successful, you got to work hard, long hours, and you got to put your family's got to sacrifice. You got to your work is going to have to come first, and you're going to miss out on all the birthdays, all the barbecues, all the family get-togethers, and really, I'm not in this for you to be an absent husband or wife, right? So what we have to do here is we have to start thinking differently. We have to develop a almost like a no limit thinking mindset. We have to start thinking back to how we thought when we were a little child, right? When you were a little child, anything was possible because you're playing in your room, you're playing with your toys. Nobody is there to tell you otherwise. You want to be an astronaut? Hey, in your imagination, you could be an astronaut. How about you want to build tree houses as a living, and you want to be this huge, tree houses across the world, right? Really fancy tree houses that people buy or rent out from you. I'm just thinking weird stuff we would think of when we were a little kid, right? Even being a firefighter or a policeman, though, whatever it is, nobody told you that you couldn't do that, right? If you wanted to fly an airplane or whatever it is, nobody was there to say you couldn't do it. Now, if you told that to somebody, a parent or a family member or somebody they may have told you otherwise. They may have told you, hey, look, don't be silly. Let's be realistic. Okay. That's not us, right? That's not our family, right? Nobody in our family has ever done anything like that. Okay. So think as big as you can. If you can't see or wrap your head around $1 million, don't worry because your big think is going to be completely different again than everybody else's out there. The success you'll first experience when using this step system will soon allow you to be able to think much bigger. Okay, there is no lack. We've got to take that there's a shortage, there's a lack. We got to take that limited thinking and we really need to just erase it. We need to just get rid of it, push it out of our head. When those thoughts come into our head, we need to replace that thought with what our goal or our dream is that we're focusing on to achieve or chase. The only lack in life is that in which we believe in. So, hey, take the next step, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Join me on my virtual weekly group coaching sessions. It's $97 a month. And that right there, we're going to go over everything. Not only do we go over just this 4-step system, but we also go over attitude, mindset. In addition, we go over the sales process, and it is the Simply Sales Blueprint. And why do we go over a sales process or a sales blueprint? Because to get what you want in life, if it's extremely big and it's massive, you're going to have a process to follow in order to go get those things. And this Simply Sales Blueprint, you can take this and you could use it in all aspects of your life in accordance with the foundation of my 4-step system. And so whatever you want to achieve, hey, listen, even if it's getting your kids on track, even if it's getting your husband or your wife, your spouse, even if it's getting them to kind of go along with what you want to do for a little while, retiring in comfort, What if you can wrap your head around $1 million right now? What if you are a millionaire and you're hitting a wall, you're hitting a ceiling in order to get to 200 million or whatever, right? Whatever it is. Maybe you have 5 million now, you want to get to 10 million, but you keep running into these things. Well, really think back about what it is you were told. Okay, what go back. Just try to sit down, really relax, go back, close your eyes, and start thinking throughout your life history. Okay, and go back and think about the things that you were told that may be limiting you and stopping you from moving forward and getting what it is that you really want out of life. Because you'll be amazed when you sit there and you really think and you analyze these things that our parents told us, these things that our pastor or our priest may have told us, these things that our aunts or uncles may have told us. The reality is that if you can think it, you can achieve it. And so when we go through this 4-step system, making sure if number one, making sure that your goal or dream is unique to you, okay, and scares you a little bit. Because if it doesn't get the hairs on the back of your head, if it doesn't raise those up a little bit, chances are that goal isn't big enough, and you're gonna quickly forget about it, or it's just so easily achievable, it's not even worth really calling a goal or a dream, right? Hey, financing a car or leasing a car, that's a cool car, okay, that requires $2,000, $3,000 in a down payment. That shouldn't be a goal or a dream. What is a goal or a dream are massive things. Again, if you think about it and the hairs on the back of your neck, and you get a shiver a little bit, hey, that's a worthy goal and a dream to go after. Okay, once we have that and we nail it down, and we commit to it. Okay, so the second thing we do is we make a commitment and we change our complete way of thinking. Third thing we do is we commit that dream or that goal to daily writing. We'll go over in depth more about why we do this. How long do we commit to daily writing? Until we have achieved the goal. Okay. And number 4, we're going to take the action necessary and even more, right? We're going to 10x that action, but we're going to take that action to goal achievement. And when we're taking this action, this is our main focus, the goal or the dream always, because the actions you will take have to align with that goal or that dream every step of the way. And if you could do this 4-step system, then you're well on your way to living a better life and getting what you want out of life. But so many times, again, we're told things that hold us back. And these things that we're being told, maybe at one point in time in the Great Depression, when your parents were told them as a little child, that, hey, this is what we need to do in order to survive. This is what we need to do in order to get through this depression. We need to store as many cans of peas and green beans in our house as possible. We need to always have a 30-day, 90-day supply of toilet paper. We always, we need to live like we're going to run out. Okay, that's limited thinking. Remember, there is no lack. The only lack out there is what you believe, what you believe in. And so when these goals, these dreams come into your head, you just got to take that thing and hold on to it so tight. If it's a worthy dream and it's something you really want to accomplish out there, you got to take that and you want to hold it so tight that it's almost like it's almost so strong, the grip that you have on that, it's not going to allow any of those negative thoughts to come in. And it's going to be scary at first, because a lot of us, we get stopped as soon as we think about that, whatever it is you want out of life. And remember, it's your life too. You only get one of them. There are no do-overs, right? Or none that you're going to remember, at least. And so your lifespan right now is the most important. And hey, look, if you're in your 50s or you're in your 60s and you're really biting your nails on, and it scares you to think about what the next 20 years are going to bring, or 30 years. It can all change like that. It really can, but we need to do the right things. So when we have that goal or that dream, we need to think about this. How are we going to do it? Reverse engineer it. Take whatever it is. Let's say you need to have, an extra 100,000 in your bank account in order to retire. How are you going to get there? What can you do at your age? What can you do with the resources you have available? Look, if you're 50 or 60 years old out there and you're biting your nails about retirement, you've lived a long life and you've experienced many, many things, and you're full of wisdom. Who can you teach? Who can you help in your community? Who can you help in your state? Who can you help, online? What forums can you join? And then all of a sudden you start talking to these people, and you figure out what the real problem is that they need to solve, right? And then all of a sudden these thoughts come into your head about, hey, look, we could do it like this, we could do it like this, we could do it like this. And then you're like, oh, that's the right one. I'm going to focus on that. And then we write it down so we don't forget it, right? And then we start thinking about all the different ways we can get it. We reverse engineer it. Reverse engineer it. Okay. And then how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take for you to achieve that goal or that dream? Is it 1 month? Is it 2 months? Is it a year? Is it 5 years? The bigger the dream, the bigger the goal, the probably longer it's going to take. Then once we figured out how we're going to do it and how long it's going to take, then we need to figure out the resources that are going to be needed for that goal or that dream. And four, we need to become knowledgeable in that. Whatever it is, there's something about it that's you don't have it now. If you knew about it and you knew how to go get it, you'd already have it. But you need to be knowledgeable on what it is. So now we got the resources, we're knowledgeable on what it is, Now what we've done is we've taken that idea, that goal or that dream, and we've turned it into a real, true burning desire. And then you're on to the next step. And then that next step, now that becomes your main focus. Maybe you got 2 or 3 of them. Maybe you've got a handful of these big things you want to achieve. Take each single one of them, reverse engineer it, figure out how long it's going to take for you to achieve it, what resources are going to be needed, and the knowledge on exactly everything you can learn in that field on that. And that will keep your mind focused on achieving that goal. And I should probably put this one in here because this is really important. Well, we kind of have it right there, how long it's going to take to achieve it. But you kind of want to put a deadline on it. Why do we want a deadline? Because the deadline creates urgency. And so, hey, maybe you're like, okay, realistically, if all my cards plan out right through your reverse engineering, hey, realistically, it's going to take me 5 years to do it. Well, maybe you shorten that up and you try to find a way to get it done in 3 years instead of 5 years, and you make it your goal because the actions you're going to take are going to be increased based off of the timeline or the deadline of when you need to achieve that goal, and really put the pressure on yourself to do it. Man, I'll tell you what, we think more of these little negative thoughts when we start talking about deadlines and oh my gosh, there's work that's going to have to be done to get this. I mean, shoot, I thought I could just think and manifest it, and all of a sudden it's here. But the reality is you need to act as if it's already done, and you need to take the actions as if it's already done. Because when we're going through and we're visioning where we're at in our goals, what we want to accomplish, we see it in our mind first, and then so we need to hold on to that thought, and then we need, every time when we're working on and we're taking the action toward that goal, we need to constantly have that in the forefront of our mind. And that allows us to almost have a tunnel vision or laser beam like focus to where all the other negative barbs that are coming through our mind are bouncing off like it's hitting armor plated glass. And so when that happens and you achieve your goal, you hit that deadline or you exceed that deadline, and now you can move on to the next one. You can move on to the next most important thing you want to get done. And then you just keep going right down the list of your goals and your dreams. But the reality is that once you knock one off of your list, you need to replace it. We replace it. Once we achieve it, we replace it. Or maybe you just want to have one shot at this. You just want to say, hey, I just want one thing I just want one thing before I go. I want one thing before, I'm sitting here. I got, 40 years left. It's my only one life's mission to achieve this. Okay. Maybe you don't replace it, but everything else, once you get to that point, it's not about wanting more. Okay. It's not. It's about keep moving forward, keep advancing. Okay. Because, hey, look, I don't know if you guys are going to get offended by talking about a biblical story, but hey, there was a wealthy landowner in the Bible, and he was going on a very long trip, and he was asking his 3 farm or ranch hands there. These were like the people he trusted the most out of everybody. He says, I'm going to be going on this very long journey to go check out this other land, and I want you to take care of my farm and my money. And he broke his shekels up. They called the shekels, and he broke them up, and he gave each one of them the exact same amount, like 1 shekel each, right? And a decade goes by, or however long goes by, and he comes back and he talks to the first farm hand or ranch hand or his, the person he trusted, and he says, hey, do you have that shekel? And he says, Sir, I knew you were going out, and I knew you were going out to uh, forage more land. I know you were going out to increase your wealth and your whatever your possessions. And so what I did is I took this shekel and I multiplied it. And now, here's 3 shekels, for the one. He says, hey, you're a good and faithful servant, because you did all this, I'm going to give you all, a third of my field, my land, a third of my crops, a third of my cows, my whatever it was, and and that's all yours. You own that now. And he said to the next one. The next one says, hey, yeah, I took it and I doubled it. He's like, hey, great. You're a good and faithful servant because you've done that and you've multiplied and you kept growing. I'm going to reward you and I'm going to give you 20 acres or whatever. And then he says to the third guy, and the third ranch hand said, sir, I knew you were a hard and a wretched landowner, and you reap where you don't sow, and I wanted to protect your shekel, so I took it and I buried it, and so here's your 1 shekel back. And he reamed this guy up one side and down the other and said, hey, you unfaithful and lazy servant. I give I reap where I don't sow, and I give you some of my money to invest and multiply, and you do nothing with it. You ponder it. Okay. Do you understand the basis of this story as we're going through our life? If every day every day is a gift to us. Every day is a new single day. Our slate is wiped 100% clean. And if we don't go out and multiply and keep advancing, we're never going to get to the ultimate place where we all want to get in life. And no matter if you try and you fail, you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep doing it again. It does not matter what your uncle who tried opening a business once in his life. It does not matter if he failed and almost lost everything. It does not matter what the other family members are going to think of you. It does not matter. What matters is that you go out and you get what you want out of life. It's the only way you're going to win. And use this 4-step system. Join my weekly group coaching sessions, $97 a month. Heck, you go through more gas and $97 a month, and I'm going to give you this information to where you can really change your lifestyle. And so go to thehardknockstate.com and click on either this one. You could either do one month by month for $97. You could do a 3-month package. You could do a 6-month package. If you don't like the group atmosphere and you want a one-on-one coaching session, you could do that too. Just go in, click on the appointments, the available times and appointments. However, for the private one-on-one coaching session, it will be required that we do a 15-minute strategy session, free strategy session, as a prerequisite to private one-on-one coaching. Because I wouldn't want you spending the money on private one-on-one coaching if all it was going to take is weekly group coaching, to where you hop on a Zoom call with us in the group, and you take notes and you start really thinking about these questions that we ask ourselves. Okay, why not? What's stopping me from getting what it is I really want? And we start thinking, go back throughout our as long as we can remember, and we start thinking about what these little negatives that we were told, and then where did they get that? If the people are still alive, ask them, hey, you always told me this, throughout my life, da 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 da. Hey, I'm just curious, who told you that you taught me that? Maybe they're just trying to keep you out of harm's way. Maybe they just, who knows? We don't know why we're being told what we're being told, but when we're in an impressionable age and there's consequences that go along with what we're being told, it's creating our ethics, our personal ethics, and our personal core values. And once those are set in our brain, it's very, very hard to change those or to stop. That's the reason why when we think about how cool it would be to travel on a yacht. How cool it would be to take a luxury cruise, where there's only 300 300 cabins and 300 crew members, 300 people, yes, on board, and 300 crew members. And you go downstairs and there's a full casino and it's never packed. And whenever you want food or want a drink or want to play a game, there's no lines to wait on that cruise, right? And it goes to all your favorite destinations in first class, all the way, 100% all the way. Okay, why can't you have that? Okay, did this little thing? Hey, gosh, wouldn't it be nice only if I was one of the top 1%ers, right? Well, that's how the other half lives. Okay, no, you got to. That's what stops us from advancing. Those little sayings again keep us from really going out and achieving amazing things in our life. And look, you may not get it all at once. It may be a life's journey for you. If the goal is big enough, it could be a life's journey for you. Heck, maybe it's so big, maybe you're never going to achieve it in your lifetime, but you need to teach other people what to do once you pass, so they can pick up the baton and run towards the gold, right? Take the first place and accomplish your life's mission, your life's work. It's all unique. It's all based off of you and what you want to do. But if you're sitting on your couch and you're just watching TV, after an 8-hour work shift, and your days off, you're not doing anything but spending money, and you wonder why at the end of the month, your pay just covered your bills and your back, maybe some food, maybe a little gas in your tank. But we're not put on this planet, we're not put on this earth just to get by. We're not put here only just to pay our bills and just to go have a job just so we can end our life one day. And hopefully, if everything works out, nothing drastic happened to us. We're born to take risks. We're born to go out and get whatever it is you want. Hey, what if your goal, this was my goal that I achieved in 2022 and all of last year. I wanted to work my butt off after I went through accidents after accidents. I've been in and out of the hospital my whole life for dumb stuff that I've done. And I'm just now starting to, figure things out. And so, but 7 years ago when I was laying in that hospital, I put my foot down and I committed that I was no longer going to live that way. That is a thing of the past for me. In fact, those things at some point in time, I don't even want to think, I don't even want them to be a memory anymore, and I don't, living the way that, I lived back then and doing things that I did when I was younger, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you. We have a lot of things that we wish we could take back or do over again. Or what about the people who hurt us, right? When we go out and we're trying to achieve something, maybe that person held us back, maybe mentally abused us, maybe physically abused us, maybe those little things that were, man, I don't want to venture out. I don't want to take any more risks. You just don't understand. I've been through so much already. I get it. But every day we need to really understand, every day is a new day, and every day your slate is wiped clean. And when the amygdala, when you actually maybe get the courage enough to actually start tackling some of these big goals and these big dreams you have, and your amygdala is going off like a 4-alarm fire, and it's making your body act in irrational ways. Remember, the thing to do is just take a step forward. Take a step forward and walk through that fear, because the chances of those actions or repercussions repeating themselves again that they did when you were little or when you were much younger isn't going to happen. And the more times you do it, the more times you walk and you take those steps and you walk through that fear, you walk through the fear, it gets less. And these little sayings and these little beliefs, they just get weaker and weaker and weaker. And then pretty soon, you blow them away like a puff of fine dust, right? And then you're moving forward and you're going off and you're thinking success, you're thinking that it's going to happen, you're mentally assuming that you're going to achieve those goals, and then you achieve them. And then you start taking on new tasks and new opportunities and making new goals, chasing new dreams, and then you achieve that. And then before you know it, those old beliefs are gone. Well, they're not maybe gone completely, but they don't even come up anymore because you have the knowledge of how to go out and overcome them. You have the knowledge of how to go out and actually make your dreams come true. You have the knowledge, the ability, and the know-how to know what happens when you're 3 months into it, 6 months into trying to achieve this massive goal. But yet you keep pushing every single day. You keep pushing to get there every single day. You're not letting anything stop you. You have persistence and resilience. You put those two things together, persistence and resilience, it creates grit. And it creates grit in you, creates mental toughness in you that nobody's ever going to take away. Nobody's ever going to take away from us. And when we rationalize, this is a quote from one of the people I studied, Bob Proctor. When we rationalize, really, when we break that word down, it's rationaling lies. It's rationaling lies that we tell ourselves the reasons why we can't get there. But then again, those ideas, they're not even ours in the first place. Those little rationing lies we tell ourselves, they're not ours. It's somebody else's idea. Somebody passed that along. Okay. I love my uncle. He's a general contractor, 80 years old, still goes out and swings a hammer. Okay. And at one point in time, he had a very large commercial contracting business here in the Pacific Northwest, very large. And he always told me as I was growing up, when I did something wrong, I maybe was helping him on a construction job or helping him on a remodel job or something, and I did something wrong, and he asked, why did I do that? And then I go and I come up with some excuse. He would always say, hey, look, an excuse is nothing more than a well-fabricated lie. And that's really true. We're fabricating these lies to protect us. Essentially, it's our amygdala that's fabricating these lies to protect us and keep us out of emotional or physical harm. So every Wednesday, again, 7 p.m., please join us. It costs absolutely nothing. I mean, literally, the knowledge you're going to gain from this, if you're in sales, you're going to be able to set newer and higher targets and goals. You're going to be clear on those targets and goals, and you're going to know what steps and what actions you're going to need to take in order to achieve those targets or goals. If you're a business owner or a manager, and you need to take your team or your business and you need to get it from where it's at now to further, okay, you need to do that in order to advance into the future. Hey, look, join us. $97 a month. Okay, you can write it off as an expense, training expense for you and your team. Heck, at this price, you could sign your whole team up, and everybody could partake, because when everybody is on the same game plan, and that's when the company or the business starts firing on all cylinders, and that's when you're really going to start seeing your vision come to reality and come to fruition. Look, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to go out and tackle the next big venture, the next big thing, you want to maybe go out and start your own business, or you want to start multiple different businesses and try to create that entrepreneurial holy grail of having multiple streams of income. Hey, look, you can get it because the thought came through your mind. It's possible. You just need to figure out how. And so work with us, work with me, allow me to help you, and let's instill these 4 steps, our foundation, into you, and then we'll give you other tools and resources along. Hey, 3 months is a long time. You can only go over 4 steps so often. So of course, there's going to be other things that we're going to be teaching and coaching on and consulting on as well. But for $97 per month, you can really get to where you want to go. You can accomplish and start seeing and benefiting from those multiple streams of income. thehardknockstate.com. Just go there again. If group coaching isn't for you, if you don't want to sit on in a Zoom room with other people and just hear me talk, but you really want to you have some things you really need to work out, and it's going to take more than group coaching in order to get them. Let's do private coaching. Sign up for a free 15-minute strategy session, and we'll have a good conversation. We'll get some clear communication going between the two of us, and we'll figure out which path is the right path for you to take. If you do nothing, what's going to change in 5 years? Are you going to be in the same spot you're at right now in 5 years from now? In 3 to 5 years, if you do nothing and you just keep letting your amygdala throw all those negative phrases, all those negative thoughts into your head on why you can't go out and achieve what it is you want out of life or take your business to the next level, you're if you're in business and you stay the same, you're going backwards. But if you're, and you really are, if you're an individual too, but if you do nothing, and if 5 years down the road and you're in the same spot, the same position of where you're at right now, you haven't, that you've just wasted 5 years essentially. And so it does not even, coming up with and achieving these big goals and big ideas and going out and tackling them doesn't mean you need to change your job or change your career. You just need to, if you love your job and love your career, but look, it's not allowing you to achieve these goals or chase down these dreams, then maybe we need to do something in addition to that too. Or maybe we need to find a way for you to maximize the amount of money you can at your current position. And I'm more than happy to help. Again, thank you for joining me on this free live look into the virtual weekly group coaching. And I hope to see you next Wednesday. Go out there and be